On this episode of True Crime Truth Finders, we're going to explore why the Rzuceks might have filed a wrongful death lawsuit against Chris Watts. So some things that you might want to keep in mind and take into consideration when we're talking about filing a wrongful death lawsuit against someone. In this case, there are a few things that may be at stake for the Rzuceks. Chris Watts has a lot of time on his hands right now in prison. There's a lot of possibilities that he could potentially write a book or get rights to some sort of credits to a movie of his story. The media has been all over this. It's been all over the internet, all over TV, all over newspapers. It's been all over the United States. So there's been a lot of traction and a lot of hoopla, I guess you could say, over this case. And a lot of people are still interested, especially now that we've found out that more information is coming out on March 7th, which is next Thursday. Apparently, Chris Watts has given some more information in regards to the death. So I just wanted to explore some of these possible reasons because I've heard a lot of people comment and say that they don't understand why someone would even do that. So one thing also to take into consideration is the house. Their house is apparently valued at what seems to be a decent amount more than what they actually owed on the property. What this means is that when someone, even if they go into foreclosure, when the house is auctioned off, if there's actually a profit on that house and that house is sold more or sold for more than what is actually owed on that house, someone gets that profit. Most of the time, if not all of the time, it's going to be the owners of the property, even if they went into foreclosure. So what does that mean? That means that potentially Chris Watts could get some money from the foreclosure of his home. I think, and in my opinion, I think the Rzuceks are trying to prevent him from getting any money from anything, whether it's a book deal, some sort of movie rights, like I said, or any sort of assets from his foreclosure. There could be a number of different ways that foreclosure could be looked at as, again, there's a few things to take into consideration. It appears that both Shanann and Chris Watts were owners of that home. Usually, that means they both own rights to the home and that it would be shared or split equally. I'm pretty sure that they are trying to prevent Chris from getting, like I said, absolutely any money from anything, regardless of the situation. They don't want him to have anything that he shouldn't have. Think of all the commissary he could get with tens of thousands of dollars, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars from the sale of a home. I've worked in lost assets before, and a lot of times when someone has a foreclosure and their home sells again for more than what they actually owe, those assets, the people don't know about them. Those, a lot of times, will actually get turned over to the state. And when those assets get turned over to the state, there's a process for recovering those assets. The Rzuceks might actually have to go through that process with the state of Colorado, which I'm actually pretty familiar with. I've worked directly with the state of Colorado in this aspect as well. It could take a few years for those assets to get turned over, and you guys keep in mind, the house hasn't even gone up for foreclosure sale yet that I know of. It's very interesting to get the feedback from some of our subscribers and on other channels about what their views are on this lawsuit. Some people seem to think that it might be a waste of time or a media stunt, or there's a lot of different things. And honestly, I really just think that they are trying to prevent Chris Watts from benefiting in any way, shape, or form from this terrible crime that he has committed. As always, please make sure that you subscribe to our channel and hit the notification button so that you get notifications when we upload new content and when we go live. I appreciate all of the love and support that we've gotten recently, and as always, all of our love goes out to the Rzuceks and the Watts, as I know that everyone is suffering. I really just want there to be some closure for these families, and I hope that maybe we'll get some answers sometime soon. Stay tuned, as March 7th, we're going to get a lot of details. We've put in our core request, and we're just waiting for all of that to be submitted and for us to get our access. So stay tuned.